Uh, Kim, give me some of your thoughts there. And I still want to stick with this idea for a moment here about how, what tools and techniques could somebody use for assessing corporate culture, especially at a larger organization when you need to be a bit disciplined about it. I'm all for that idea of management by walking around and asking the team leaders, what's going on? How do you feel? But you can only do that with so many employees before there are thousands and thousands. And you do need to rely on a survey or looking at a set of statistics or polling one group versus another group to see if there are subcultures or management versus employees or different units who have different views. But how would you try and do this in a scalable discipline format? What would you recommend people try and look at?
And we have 16,000 employees, and I know I personally try to walk to every single person's office. No, I mean, obviously. But I think you have to be disciplined, but you also have to be agile in a way and adaptable in terms of what you're looking at. So we do an annual survey,
Yep.
culture survey for the ethics and compliance program specifically. Also, management does one for sort of corporate culture overall. We also have a separate diversity and inclusion employee survey. So surveys are great. I think it's what you do with the survey data that's even more important than the survey. But we can get to that on the speak up part and
Sure.
the loop back part. I keep direct feedback loops open so we have ethics officers that are embedded throughout the world and in all of our functions, our business units in different offices. And so they have open door policies. So we have, kind of an ambassador program where people, if they're not, comfortable going to their manager, going to HR or whatever, they can talk to an ethics officer. We have, we keep trends, and every time we get a question, we track the question, we track the topic, we track, what business units are these coming from? Not just our cases, but also the inquiries.
Mm-hmm.
Spike in inquiries around, gifts or something in one particular location in one particular market. What's driving that? Root cause analysis is very important for that. Town halls, I've done a few of those even during COVID times, are important. If you see an uptick in activity in a certain office, business unit, market, directorate, whatever your divisions are called, and leveraging the data you collect to analyze trends is, I think, incredibly important. So it's great if you're hearing all kinds of things, but if you can't kind of lay it out and look at the trend lines, it can become difficult to assess what's really going on. So that's kind of the macro level. On the management level, I think giving people managers, but also local like HR business partners and local ethics ambassadors, ombudsmen, officers, whatever you call them at your organization, the tools to look at what's going on in their sphere to assess their culture on that level is also very important. So then that can feed up and inform the overall corporate culture kind of assessments. Mm-hmm. But to get to your point, I think we discount anecdotal things. Because I often say to my boss, this is what the data is saying, but anecdotally, what I'm hearing is X.
Yeah.
Brokering trust between people is the most important thing. So, if you have data coming through your exit interviews about why people are leaving, you really think that most people are going to look at HR and be like, I'm leaving because my manager treated me terribly. Some people will do that. A lot of people don't want to burn the bridge, don't want to, whatever.
Yep.
But they might tell their ethics officer if they trust them, and then it's anecdotally, I'm hearing that we have an issue in X market, right? And I think that's important to document and keep your eyes on too.